Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to London. Today I've come to Green Park Tube. It's not actually the closest tube to where I want to be. Hyde Park corner is, but that's a short walk this way. Behind me is the Ritz Hotel. Beside me, Green Park itself. If you take a short stroll through Green Park, you will come to the front gates of Her Majesty the Queen's most prominent central London palace, Buckingham Palace. Maybe we'll take a walk down there when I finish doing what I came here to do. However, that's a different story. The key point is we're in a prestigious part of town, heading further into one of London's more prestigious neighbourhoods, the heart of Mayfair. I'm headed to one of London's most famous and iconic restaurants and bars, arguably one of the world's most famous and iconic music and restaurant brands is, of course, the Hard Rock Cafe, which is just further along here on Old Park Lane. Now, today the Hard Rock Cafe is a phenomenal success story. Around 200 locations in over 50 countries. They have restaurants, bars, cafes, hotels, casinos. I think they've even had a stadium or two over the decades, and radio shows. They've had their own TV shows, and of course each year they still host numerous music events all over the world. And every global brand has to start somewhere, and Hard Rock Cafe started just here in the summer of 1971. The first Hard Rock Cafe opened on Park Lane. So today I want to head up to the first ever Hard Rock Cafe and share that with you. Take a look at some of the history, the story behind what has become an incredibly popular and well-known global brand. We'll take a look at the history of that, and we'll take a look at the bar and restaurant today, what you can expect today if you visit. And I'm particularly excited to check out some of the memorabilia they've collected, some of the rock and pop memorabilia, particularly the guitars that they've collected over the last 4 decades in business. So yeah, let's head up to the Hard Rock Cafe and take a look at what's going on.
Hard Rock Cafe was founded by 2 young American chaps who met here in London, both well educated and both from privileged backgrounds. However, neither has ever been a surefire guarantee of success in London's highly competitive hospitality industry, but it doesn't hurt. London and Brits in the late 60s and early 70s were infatuated with American pop culture, especially art, music and of course Hollywood movies. It's the same today. So the 2 founders of Hard Rock Cafe had the idea to open an American-inspired diner here in London, because although American culture was popular here, there were few places to find some decent American comfort food and a little American hospitality. Sounds like a pretty good and pretty popular idea today, because it's an idea that's been copied relentlessly, not just here in London but globally ever since. But in the 1970s, Hard Rock was pioneering. It wasn't the first themed restaurant, but it was paving the way to do it successfully for many to follow, and that would ultimately span the entire world. The owners of the building, a former Rolls-Royce showroom here in Mayfair, thought it was such a silly idea they only offered an initial 6-month lease. They imagined it wouldn't last any longer.
Okay, here we go. Hard Rock Cafe London, the original Hard Rock Cafe, and Hard Rock Cafe merchandise is so popular they have a store here. Let's pop in.
Okay, before I head into the Hard Rock Cafe to get some food, I'm going to pop in the rock shop. Why will become crystal clear in a moment. The Hard Rock Cafe has become more than just food and music. It's got some hugely popular merchandise. It's a lifestyle brand. It started in 1974 when Hard Rock sponsored a local football team here. The white shirt with the Hard Rock logo on the front was the team uniform. The cafe started handing out the extra shirts to loyal customers, and then they started selling them. And soon enough, those shirts have become a rock and roll uniform for generations, and mementos like concert t-shirts that people collect from all over the world. So much so, the merchandise went from being sold in the restaurant to needing a stall outside the restaurant, to the point where they took over this branch of the bank to Her Majesty the Queen, Coots, right next to the cafe. I'm going to take you into the Hard Rock Vault. The former Coots bank vaults are still here, and Hard Rock used them to store their most treasured and some of their coolest stuff. I'm not just strolling in here, I've got prior permission from Hard Rock to be allowed to share a little of the collection with you today. These pictures here are a wall of fame of some of the rock stars that have visited the vault here. I think we had Aerosmith there, Ringo Starr, U2. Here we have Black Sabbath drum kit. Hard Rock have an expert tour guide on hand to give customers a tour of the collection down here. It's phenomenal. My guide Mark had worked in the music industry all his life and was super knowledgeable. You should definitely visit. And Hard Rock welcome customers to come and take a tour. I've come earlier than my cafe reservation just to see this. I can only give you a very quick tour, a very quick spin today. If I told you the full story of the building and the vault alone, it would break the internet, let alone the story of some of these pieces. But let's just take a quick look. There we have Adam Clayton from U2's guitar, one of Sting's guitars from when he was performing with the Police. That outfit there is Eric Clapton's suit from the cover of Goodbye Cream. You have one of David Bowie's guitars. There we have Madonna's stage costume designed by Jean-Paul Gaultier with a cone-shaped bra for her Blonde Ambition tour, as well as one of her credit cards, a mic stand, one of Kiss's mic stands, a chair, one of Freddie Mercury's chairs, Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones signed guitar. The outfit there is Guns N' Roses. Slash wore that in some scenes of the November Rain video. There we have Gene Simmons from Kiss's guitar, John Entwistle's guitar. That is a shirt worn by Keith Moon of The Who. Jimmy Page's guitar, Jeff Beck's guitar. Here we have Jimi Hendrix Gibson Flying V guitar, also a pair of his glasses and an accessory. There we have John Lennon's shirt, glasses. Behind that is the harpsichord used by the Beatles to record All You Need Is Love and Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. There we have some more guitars, Stereophonics, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Some more guitars, Bob Dylan's guitar there, shaped like the United States. Some paperwork from Motown. Elton John's credit card, one of his credit cards, a guitar, B.B. King's guitar behind Bob Dylan's. Here we have some handwritten amendments by John Lennon to song lyrics. The full story of all of these, the stories are incredible. There we have Bill Wyman's guitar, Bo Diddley's guitar, and that coat at the back was Elvis Presley's.
Pretty cool, huh?
I've really only skimmed the surface of what's down here. If you'd like to see it all, you'll have to pop down here for yourself. When we're in the Hard Rock Cafe, I'll show you how this collection got started in 1979 with the two guitars that are still above the bar now. However, today there are globally over 80,000 pieces in this growing collection, some purchased and many donated. Okay, let's head across the road to the Hard Rock Cafe itself and get something to eat and something to drink. I'll share with you the first ever Hard Rock Cafe in the world. Now, originally as simply an American bar and an American diner, the Hard Rock Cafe was a huge success, and many of the things it has subsequently become renowned for, such as live music, the lifestyle merchandise, and of course rock and roll memorabilia, were ideas stumbled upon by chance in the early years, but went on to give the Hard Rock Cafe its own truly unique identity, way above and beyond an American diner. In the early years it attracted pop stars of the day, some of whom have gone on to become icons of the music industry. The first live music gig was at the Hard Rock Cafe here in London, and it was Paul McCartney and Wings, who held a warm-up gig here for their 1973 tour, and from that day on Hard Rock Cafe has been hosting live music events ever since, thousands of them. Okay, this is what people come here for, the food. Classic American cooking with southern flair. They've got wings, onion rings, chicken tenders, some salads, fajitas, mac and cheese, shrimp, ribs, New York strip steak, pulled pork sandwiches, their legendary half-pound burgers, some amazing sounding desserts, and I'm sitting right opposite the pass and some of them look like huge portions. They've also got this week's special, which is the Red Hot Chili menu to celebrate National Chili Day, Atomic Wings, Induja Chili Burger, Molten Lava Chocolate Chili Cake, and a Chili Martini. So I think maybe I'll give that a whirl. This is the Chili Martini. Okay, let's talk rock and roll memorabilia. These two guitars are the first pieces the Hard Rock Cafe acquired. When the Hard Rock Cafe first opened as an American diner here in London, it was simply decorated with inexpensive Americana, so car badges, flags and college paraphernalia. Then in 1979, when hard rock regular, then pop star, now rock star, Eric Clapton suggested that the Hard Rock Cafe reserve his preferred spot with a plaque, Hard Rock co-founder Isaac Tigret suggested his guitar instead. The rest is history. He gave them that red Fender Lead 2 guitar, and today the collection has acquired bigger, flashier and louder pieces through the years, but that was their first and it's still here above the bar. There's also a handwritten note on the wall from Pete Townshend explaining how they acquired their second guitar, that black modified Gibson Les Paul. It reads, "Back in 1979 when I was very, very drunk, I gave my black Les Paul to the Hard Rock Cafe in London. I couldn't have known then that this astonishingly generous donation, it was the best guitar I ever had, would transform a small American diner into a cultural icon and help establish a collection that preserves the heritage of rock and roll, signed Pete Townshend. P.S. Mine's still as good as Eric C's." Basically, Pete Townshend, who was also a Hard Rock regular, was annoyed that the Hard Rock co-founder Isaac Tigret had hung one of Eric Clapton's guitars on the wall, so a drunk Pete Townshend had his guitar sent over with a note that read, "Mine's as good as his, love Pete." It's actually a much better guitar. It's a heavily modified Gibson Les Paul and was stage used. Okay, here's my burger. It looks incredible. It's a Hard Rock legendary half pounder. I've got it topped with bacon, and also this week's special to celebrate National Chili Day, they've spiced it up with spicy Induja, a 3-bean chili and Scotch bonnet salsa. Let's hope it's spicy but not too hot. I've also got a side of plain fries. Okay, here's dessert. It's a Hard Rock classic, the Molten Lava chocolate cake, only for this week's special. To celebrate Chili Week, they've added a strawberry and chili compote. I think they've been watching too many YouTube challenge and prank videos. The cake tasted pretty good. I couldn't actually taste any chilli, but it's probably just not registering because I've already eaten so much chilli. This is the lower ground floor, the basement. It's got its own entrance, its own bar. It can be self-contained or you can access it from the restaurant. It's set up right now for a model show, a catwalk show, a runway show. It's mainly used for parties, after-show parties and events. There's a little bit more memorabilia down here. You've got that whole area there dedicated to the punk era. We've got gold discs on the wall and signed pictures. Case at the end here is filled with Elton John memorabilia, so there's an outfit and a picture of him wearing the outfit on stage, some gold discs. There's some incredible pictures on the wall here. You could spend hours admiring some of the artwork and all of the memorabilia they've got here. And around the world, it's a collection that's still growing. So yeah, back up into the main restaurant and bar.
Okay guys, that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this trip to the Hard Rock Cafe. Food's amazing, American comfort food, burgers, chicken. The energy's incredible. They play music and music videos, really spanning quite a number of decades, and obviously it's great for families. The food's good for families, but also the entertainment, the atmosphere, because of the music, the type of music they're playing. Yeah, there's something for everyone. So I think from here, obviously, Hard Rock Cafe there and the rock shop there. The merchandise is so popular. It's obviously got its own store, and Bank Vault being former Coots Bank. I think from here we can head over the road. You can Green Park's just here, and you can see the garden gates, the walls of Buckingham Palace's grounds and garden. I'll give you a quick glimpse of that on the way home. So let's go.
I think we will.
Okay, right, let's head from Hard Rock Cafe here on Old Park Lane to Buckingham Palace, front of Buckingham Palace. Green Park's just there. There's actually an underpass there, so it's very difficult to run across the road right here, but that's where we need to go. There are a number of war memorials in this corner of Green Park. You can see the top of the Royal Air Force War Memorial there, Bomber Command. That is a whole nother video. We're going to see where we can cross the road, and we'll head down to the palace. Okay, we made it this far. Those are actually that's the wall of the palace grounds. See, we haven't made it that far. The Hard Rock's just there. But yeah, if we head straight down here through Green Park, it comes to the front of the palace. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Just a short walk from Hard Rock, and just a short walk from where we started. The pathway that runs straight up there take you back to Green Park Station. That is Green Park where we started. But yeah, check out the palace. For once, the Queen's at home. Every time I make these videos and come here, she's, well, apart from when you're guaranteed she's here, like trooping of the colour on her birthday. There's always a lot of confusion about the flags that fly on the palace. If the Union Jack's flying, the Union Jack will always be flying, but that doesn't mean she's in. What means she's in is when the Queen's Royal Standard, her flag, is flying from the flagpole, and right now it is. That is the Queen's Royal Standard. I think that's what they call it, the Queen's flag. That is hitting the jackpot in terms of filming Buckingham Palace. Queen's flag's up and it's windy, so you can see it. Right, I'm going to head back to the station. Hope you enjoyed this this trip to Hard Rock, first Hard Rock in London, Buckingham Palace, and until next time, toodles. They have these maps, parks here. I can show you where we've been and where I'm headed. Okay, so like the weatherman started here, Green Park Station. Walked all the way along here, Hard Rock Cafe. Then where he went under the road, under the underpass, came out here, Wellington Arch, back all the way down Constitution Hill to here. It's corner of Buckingham Palace. And now we've got the Canada Gate there, and now I'm going to walk back up through the park to where we began, Green Park Station. So yeah, let's go. Okay, now we really are right back where we started. The Ritz Hotel there, Buckingham Palace there, Green Park Tube where I began, down here. Toodles.